Hello everyone. By the time I have discussed about the meaning and concept of alternative dispute resolution, in short ADR, and then arbitration, and then mediation, and then conciliation, and then about the ombudsman. And today in this video I will discuss Lokpal and Lokayukta. Okay, and this is the last chapter of unit 3. Okay, so let's begin with the meaning and concept of Lokpal and Lokayukta. The literal meaning of Lokpal is defender of people or people's friend. Okay, so Lokpal means people's friend or one who looks after the people. Okay, however, technically Lokpal is an anti-corruption authority or body of ombudsman. Remember, in the last video we have discussed about the ombudsman, okay, who represents the public interest in India. The Lokpal has jurisdiction over central government to inquire into allegations of corruptions against its public functionaries and for matters connected to corruption, while the Lokayukta performs the same function at the state level. So first you need to understand here, Lokpal is the body that looks after cases related to corruption. Okay, so it is an anti-corruption authority or body. Okay, Lokpal. On the other hand, Lokayukta is also an anti-corruption authority. But the difference is Lokpal is at center level, means that is regarding the central government. Okay, and Lokayukta, which has the typically same properties, but that is at a state level. Okay, so Lokpal central level, that is central government, and Lokayukta a state level, that is a state government. Okay, so this is the difference between Lokpal and Lokayukta. So first I will discuss Lokpal and then Lokayukta. Okay, so since we have seen the meaning of Lokpal, now check out the historical background of Lokpal. The concept of a constitutional ombudsman was first proposed in Parliament by Law Minister Ashok Kumar Sen in the early 1960s. So see how old this concept is. However, but the term Lokpal was coined by Dr. L.M. Singhvi in 1963. Okay, so the concept was introduced by Law Minister Ashok Kumar Sen, but the term Lokpal was coined by Dr. L.M. Singhvi in 1963. The first Jan Lokpal bill was proposed by Advocate Shanti Bhushan in 1968 and passed in the 4th Lok Sabha in 1969, but didn't pass through the Rajya Sabha. So it was passed only in the Lok Sabha but not in the Rajya Sabha. Subsequently, Lokpal bills were introduced in 1971 and then again in 1977 and then again in 1985, again by Ashok Kumar Sen, okay, while serving as Law Minister in the Rajiv Gandhi cabinet. Okay, so it is the second time. The first time he also introduced in the 1960, remember, and the second time again in 1985 and again in 1989, in 1996, 1998, 2001, 2005 and in 2008. Though by 2008 it was introduced 10 times but never been passed. 45 years after its first introduction and after 10 failed attempts, the Lokpal bill was finally enacted in India on 18th December 2013 on its 11th attempt. So when it is introduced 11th time, then it is passed. Okay, so it was introduced 11th time in 2011 and it was Anna Hazare fought to get this bill passed. Okay, so this is about the historical background of Lokpal. Now check out the laws on Lokpal. The institutions of Lokpal and Lokayukta were given formal recognition by the passing of the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013. Okay, pay attention. The legislation aims to combat acts of bribery and corruption of public servants, term that has been given a fairly wide interpretation in the act. So see what law is saying, that is specifically the law made over the Lokpal, that is Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013. It defines the power, duties, constitution of the Lokpal. Okay, so what it does, it strictly combats with the bribery and corruption related to public servants and other such people, including politicians. Okay, the act applies to the public servants in and outside India. So it's not only the public servants like Indian Foreign Service who is serving in some other countries to Indian government, they are excluded. No, not at all. They are also included under the purview of this Lokpal. Okay. It is important to note that the Act includes in its purview even the current and ex-Prime Ministers of India. See, so even Prime Minister is not excluded, whether current or ex, both of them included. Okay, except in matters pertaining to international relations, external and internal security, public order, atomic energy and space. So there are certain limitations that is given or that is excluded. So if the matters related to international relations, external and internal security, public order, atomic energy and space. So if any matter related to any of these headings, okay, so that is excluded from this Lokpal. Besides the Prime Minister, it brings within its purview any person who is or has been a Minister of the Union and any person who is or has been a member of either houses of Parliament. Okay, everyone is included in this Lokpal. The Lokpal shall not inquire into any matter involved in or arising from or connected with any such allegation of corruption against any member of either of House of Parliament in respect of anything set to a vote given by him or her in Parliament or any committee thereof covered under the provisions contained in Clause 2 of Article 105 of the Constitution. What does it mean? That if there is any kind of parliamentary acts, okay, so related to that, no confidence motion, casting the vote inside the Parliament and all these acts are excluded. Keep in mind, as above it is discussed, that it includes only the bribery and corruption related cases. So if the matter related to corruption and bribery, only then takes the cognition of that matter. Okay, with respect to bureaucracy, it includes any group A, B, C or D official or equivalent from amongst the public servants defined in the Prevention of Corruption Act 1988. So when serving or who has served in connection with the affairs of the Union. So any of the employees serving the Union or central government comes under this Lokpal. So Lokpal has the power to inquire any of the matter or complaint filed against any of the officers serving the central government. Okay, so no one is excluded, no one, keep in mind. The Act also provides for the manner in which the public servants must declare their assets. So all the public servants supposed to be declaring their assets. Okay, we have discussed already laws on Lokpal. So let's check out the constitution of Lokpal. So who are the members, how it is constituted, regarding all those questions. Lokpal consists of a chairperson and a maximum of 8 members. Okay, so a chairperson and maximum of 8 members. Okay, and out of those 8 members, 50% will be judicial members, means they will be either judges of Supreme Court or High Court or any eminent jurist. Okay, and 50% supposed to be from SC, ST, OBC, minorities and women. Okay, so any person who is knowledgeable and deserving from these communities can be appointed as member of Lokpal. Okay. Next one is selection of chairperson and members of Lokpal through a selection committee. Okay. So the member or chairperson of the Lokpal will be selected by selecting committee. And who are the members of that selecting committee? The first one is Prime Minister, second one a Speaker of Lok Sabha, third one Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha, fourth one Chief Justice of India, or a sitting Supreme Court judge nominated by CJI, means Chief Justice of India. So how many members are there? Prime Minister 1, a Speaker of Lok Sabha 2, Leader of Opposition in Lok Sabha 3, Chief Justice of India, or a sitting Supreme Court judge nominated by CJI 4. So there are 4 members and they have the right to select the chairperson and other members of the Lokpal. Okay. Next point is eminent jurists to be nominated by President of India on basis of recommendations of the first 4 members of the selection committee through consensus. So President will appoint or nominate only after the recommendation given by these 4 members of the committee. Okay. Next one is as a judicial member, if he is or has been a judge of the Supreme Court or is or has been a Chief Justice of a High Court. So see, as we have discussed that out of 8, 50% will be judicial members. So he could be the judge of Supreme Court or Chief Justice of High Court. Okay. So judges of High Court are not included. Only Chief Justice of High Court and the judge of Supreme Court. Okay. Next point is as a member other than judicial member, if he is a person of impeccable integrity, see, you need to focus on the term impeccable integrity and outstanding ability, having a special knowledge and expertise of not less than 25 years. Pay attention. How much? 25 years in the matters relating to anti-corruption policy, public administration, vigilance, finance, including insurance and banking, law and management. So any person working in these fields from last 25 years can be appointed or selected as the member of Lokpal. Okay. The last point is retired Supreme Court Judge Pinaki Chandra Ghosh is appointed as the first Lokpal of India by a committee consisting of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Chief Justice of India Ranjan Gogoi and Lok Sabha Speaker Sumitra Mahajan on 23rd March 2019. Okay, whereas the members are appointed on 27 March 2019. Okay, so this is the general knowledge. Who is the chairman of Lokpal? That is retired Supreme Court Judge Pinaki Chandra Ghosh. So we have discussed the constitution of Lokpal. Now the next topic we have, that is features of the Lokpal. So see, its features are quite simple. So I just read it out for you. The first one is an institution called Lokpal at the center and Lokayukta in each state will set up. Okay. So as per the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act, an institution called Lokpal at the center and Lokayukta in each state will set up. Okay. Secondly, like the Supreme Court and Election Commission, they will be completely independent of governments. So see, the second point what it's saying, that as judiciary or Supreme Court and Election Commission, they work independently, so Lokpal will also work independently without the interference of any person, any firm, organization or any government even. Okay. The next point is no minister or bureaucrat will be able to influence their investigations. So if Lokpal is investigating something or some case, no minister or even bureaucrat will allow to interfere in that. Next point is cases against corrupt people will not linger on for years anymore. Investigation in any case will have to be completed in 1 year. So what does it mean? That if any complaint filed against any officer or any politician, so it has to be concluded in 1 year. So 1 year is the maximum time given to arrive on a conclusion based on the given complaint. Okay. Next point is trial should be completed in the next 1 year so that the corrupt politician, officer or judge is sent to jail within 2 years. So the second point is if everything is done in 1 year, all the investigation and the charges, and that is proved, then the offender will be sent jail. Okay. Next point is the loss that a corrupt person caused to the government will be recovered at the time of conviction. So see, if any person caused harm to the government or caused loss to the government, and so whatever the loss that is caused by that officer or politician, he or she will be charged that while sending him the jail. So see, if any person caused 100 lakhs of loss to the government, so he needs to pay that 100 lakhs to the government, okay, as a fine. Next point is if the work of any citizens is not done in a prescribed time in any government office, Lokpal will impose a financial penalty on the guilty officers, which will be given as compensation to the complaint. So see, everything that if you go to just have the driving license, passport and all, so there is time limit within which that work has to be done. And if that is not being done without giving any genuine reason, then the respective officer will be held responsible for that, and he or she needs to pay the compensation to the victim. Okay, so see how beautiful this concept is. The next point is, so one may approach the Lokpal or Lokayukta if one's ration card, pay attention here, that is the very important point for you guys. I repeat, so one may approach the Lokpal or the Lokayukta if one's ration card or passport or voter card have not been made in time, with no reason being cited for doing so, or if the police doesn't register one's case, or if any other work has not been done within the prescribed time without any valid reason being cited for doing so. So if you have any such work, like you want to make ration card, passport, voter card, or you went in a police station and the police wala didn't file your FIR, or any such office, municipal office, you go for certain work to pay the tax and all, and that is unnecessarily being delayed. In that condition, you can complain to Lokpal about that particular office or officer. Next point is Lokpal will have to get it done in a month's time. So once you complain, within 1 month the investigation will be completed. One may also report any case of corruption to Lokpal, like ration being siphoned off, poor quality roads being constructed, or government funds being siphoned. Okay, so these are the things. If you find somewhere, you can complain to Lokpal. So you have, being citizen of this country, even you have the right. Not essentially if something wrong happened to you, only then you will complain. No. If you find something in your society, some wrong is being done by these officials, then you can complain to Lokpal or Lokayukta respectively. So if it is the matter of central government, then you can complain to Lokpal, or if it is the matter of a state government, then you can complain to Lokayukta. Next point is the entire functioning of Lokpal and Lokayukta will be completely transparent. So you can see a step by step what is going on, right? So there is no hidden thing. The next point is any complaint against any officer of Lokpal will be investigated and the officer dismissed within 2 months if the charges are found to be true. So if you complain about any officer and investigation is being done, then he will be dismissed within 2 months. Okay, so how quick it is. CVC, the Central Vigilance Committee, remember we have discussed above. The Department Vigilance and Anti-Corruption branch of the CVI, however, will not be merged with the office of the Lokpal. So both the department will work separately or individually. Okay, the Lokpal will have complete powers and machinery to independently investigate and prosecute any officer, judge or politician. See, Lokpal is completely independent department or body that can investigate the things independently and can punish if found guilty. Okay, and last one is it will be the duty of the Lokpal to provide protection to those who are being victimized for raising their voice against corruption. What does it mean? That see, if you find something like that, some corruption is going on and you complain about that, so if you complain about any officer and any politician, so there is possibility that that person may threat you or may harm you. So in that case, it is the duty of Lokpal to give you protection, okay, so that no one can harm you, especially about whom you complained. Now the next point that we have, that is powers of the Lokpal. Okay, so just check out what are the powers of Lokpal. The Lokpal has jurisdiction to inquire into allegations of corruptions. Pay attention on the term corruptions. Okay, against anyone who is or has been Prime Minister. See, it is starting from the Prime Minister, or a minister in the Union government, or a member of Parliament, as well as officials of the Union government and groups A, B, C and D. Also covered are chairpersons, members, officers and directors of any board, corporation, society, trust or autonomous body, either established by an act of parliament or wholly or partly funded by the union or a state government. It also covers any society or trust or body that receives foreign contribution above rupees 10 lakh. So it has wide range of coverage. You can see everyone and everybody is included under the purview of Lokpal. The next power of Lokpal is Lokpal will have power of superintendence and direction over any central investigation agency including CBI for cases referred to them by the Ombudsman. So if CBI is inquiring or investigating any case, then Lokpal has the power to take or to ask about the development of that case, or can also ask about the report of that case. Okay, so the next point is the Lokpal will have to appoint an inquiry wing. So it has the power to appoint an inquiry wing on its own, headed by Director of Inquiry, and a prosecution wing, okay, headed by Director of Prosecution. So it has the power to do the administrative job for its investigation purpose and the quasi-judicial kind of act, okay, with the purpose of prosecution. Okay, so it is complete in itself. Next point is Lokpal has power to recommend transfer or suspension of public servant connected with allegation of corruption. So if it finds something fishy or some genuine evidence, then it can recommend to suspend that public servant or to transfer that, whatever the things related to that. So whatever Lokpal thinks fit can recommend. Next power is without prejudice to the provisions of section 29 and 30, where the special court on the basis of prima facie evidence has reason to believe or is satisfied that the assets, proceeds, receipts and benefits by whatever name called have arisen or procured by means of corruption by the public servant, it may authorize the confiscation of such assets, proceeds, receipts and benefits till his acquittal. What does it mean? That let's understand it with an example. If you complained about an IS officer, the allegation you put that asking money, that is the bribery, corruption, okay, and if during the investigation Lokpal finds that this public servant having so much assets, cash or other immovable property or movable property, then it has the power to confiscate those assets. If later on it is proved that those assets or properties actually belong to that officer only, so there is no corruption, no bribery at all involved in that, then that will be returned back. But if it is proved, then no return back. Okay. Next power is Lokpal has power to utilize services of officers of central or state government. So what does it mean? That while exercising its powers, that is of investigation and inquiry, if it needs to take help of other department or any department, whether it is central or a state, it can take that. Okay, it has the power to take that. Next one is Lokpal has power to act as civil court in certain cases. So it also acts like a judiciary. Last but not the least, when a complaint is received, the Lokpal may order a preliminary inquiry by its inquiry wing or refer it for investigation by any agency, including the CBI, if there is a prima facie case. Before the ordering of an investigation by the agency, the Lokpal shall call for an explanation from the public servant to determine whether a prima facie case exists. So see, what does it mean that if any complaint is received by the Lokpal, so what it can do, so it can start inquiry or investigation on its own, or it can also ask the respective department like CBI to start investigation on that. Okay, so this is all about the powers of the Lokpal. Now the next topic we have, that is limitation of Lokpal. As we have discussed that Lokpal, however, cannot inquire into any corruption charge against the Prime Minister if the allegations are related to international relations, okay, external and internal security, okay, public order, atomic energy and space. Likewise, matter related to these 5 departments, the first one is international relations, second one is external and internal security, third one is public order, fourth one is atomic energy, and the fifth one is space. So in these 5 matters, Lokpal has no right to interfere. Okay. However, if a full bench of the Lokpal consisting of its chair and all members considers the initiation of a probe and at least 2/3 of the members approve it, in that condition it may be. Okay. So but that is rare. Normally in the first instance these 5 departments are excluded. The second and the last limitation is a complaint under the Lokpal Act should be in the prescribed form and must pertain to an offence under the Prevention of Corruption Act. So if matter related to which is mentioned in the Prevention of Corruption Act against a public servant, only then it will take charge, otherwise not. However, there is no restriction on who can make such a complaint. But the fact is, who is complaining, that doesn't matter. Anyone can complain about the things, whether you are related or not. So if corruption is going on, if you come to know, you can complain. Okay. Now, we have the next term, that is Lokayukta. Since Lokayukta is the same concept as Lokpal, the difference only is, as discussed, that Lokpal at central level and Lokayukta at a state level. So let's check it out. Likewise, the Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act 2013 provides for the establishment of Lokayukta at every state in order to deal with complaints and corruption against public functionaries. The Act provides that all states must institute Lokayuktas within 1 year from the date of the commencement of the Lokpal and Lokayukta Act 2013. Okay, very simple. Maharashtra was the first state to introduce the institution of Lokayukta through the Lokayukta and Lokayukta Act in 1971. See, way back, the act passed in 2013. But Maharashtra did it in 1971 only. So it is important to note that even before the enactment of this act, some states in India, for example, Maharashtra, as we have discussed, Delhi, Karnataka, Kerala, etc., had the institution of Lokayukta in place. These states did it in advance. Okay. However, the Maharashtra Lokayukta is considered as the weakest Lokayukta due to lack of powers, staff, funds, and independent investigation agency. On the other hand, the Karnataka Lokayukta is considered the most powerful Lokayukta in the country. So this is all about the Lokpal and Lokayukta, where we have discussed the meaning and concept of Lokpal and Lokayukta, and then we have discussed about the historical background of Lokpal and Lokayukta, and then laws on Lokpal and Lokayukta, and then constitution of Lokpal, and then features of the Lokpal, and then powers of the Lokpal, and then limitations of Lokpal. Likewise, we have discussed the concept of Lokpal and Lokayukta comprehensively. So, this is all for this video. In next video, we will discuss a new topic. Okay, see you in next video. Keep watching.